आवाज क्लिअर आहे का सर माझा?
आहे सध्या यायला लागलाय सध्या तर.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So very nice afternoon to all the participants and dignitaries present over here. Once again, I heartily welcome all the dignitaries, resource person and participants in this national level 10 days research methodology program, which has started from 20th April to 30th April 2022, organized by Rajarshi Shahu Mahavidyalaya Latur and sponsored by Western Region Center, WRC Mumbai, ICSSR. I am very much thankful to the chief organizer and principal of our college, Dr. Mahadev Ghavane sir, for giving permission to conduct this useful program for the research aspirants. I am also very much thankful to Dr. Suresh Phule sir, course director for this program, for organizing this informative program for the students. I am also, I mention my thanks to Dr. Taide sir and all the organizing committee members for the smooth conduction of this program. Our today's honorable guest is Dr. Kirti Kamalja madam. I am taking this opportunity to introduce Kirti Kamalja madam. Respected Kirti Kamalja madam, she is working as an Associate Professor, Department of Statistics, School of Mathematical Sciences, Kavitri Bahinabai Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Madam has completed her PhD from North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Her PhD topic was distribution of statistics based on runs, scans, and patterns in sequences of Markov-dependent trials. Madam has also completed advanced diploma in computer science, system analysis, and application. Madam has qualified SET examination in statistics in March 2000 and NET JRF in mathematical sciences. Achievement of our resource persons are Best Doctoral Dissertation Presentation Award, first prize in the paper presentation competition at various forums. She has also selected in top 20% of the NET qualified candidates in June 2002. She has also attended a lead accessor course. Madam has attended a summer orientation program during her MSc in her post-graduation. Our respected resource person received National Merit Scholarship in her academic qualifications. Madam is having the rich work experience also. She has worked as a statistician at Jain Irrigation Systems Limited, Jalgaon. Madam has also worked as an assistant and associate professor at Department of Statistics at North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Presently, Madam is working as an associate professor at Department of Statistics, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Madam has attended various orientation programs, refresher courses, faculty development programs, and short-term courses at the various reputed universities. Madam has also completed the major and minor research proposals of UGC and their University of Jalgaon. Presently, 4 PhD candidates are pursuing the PhD under the guidance of our respected resource person. Out of 4 candidates, 3 candidates awarded PhD and 1 has submitted his thesis. Madam has published near about more than 32 research papers in various national and international journals. Madam has served as a referee at national and international journals. Madam has presented papers in national and international conferences and workshops, and she has also served as a member of various committees at various universities and reputed institutions. So with this brief introduction, it is actually, while reading this introduction, I am very much impressed by reading the biodata curriculum vitae of our respected resource person. So, I am giving the brief introduction of Madam. And our today's topic, on which our knowledgeable resource person will give her thoughts on geographical presentation of data. So it's very proud and pleasure matter for us to listen listen the knowledgeable thoughts of Dr. Kirti Kamalja madam. So I request Kirti Kamalja madam to share her knowledge with our students and motivate our students by expressing her views. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, ma'am. Your screen is also visible.
Okay. So thank you so much for such a nice introduction.
Pleasure, madam.
I'm going to talk on graphical representation of data, and let me start with the. Actually, I would like to know about the participant profile, from which branch the participants are.
Ma'am, actually participants from all streams, arts, commerce, and science.
Okay.
And some are pursuing their PhD degree, some are research aspirants, and some PG students are also joined this research methodology workshop, ma'am.
Okay. So actually my topic is very basic, we can say, but many times what happens that improper way of data presentation is used by plenty of people. So if we want to avoid that, we must know that at which place we should use which graph. So actually graphical representation from ancient time, we can see that data presentation is done through pictures and many other things. So we know that a picture is worth 10,000 words. So so with video, actually I will be having problem in network connection. So that's why I have not started the video. So let me continue with.
Yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible, ma'am. No problem.
Yes, but actually I'm facing problem when I'm starting video. So
Okay.
in between I'll start my video. So actually visualizing numbers as picture, that is very common, and plenty of complex things we can see through variety of graphs, and those graphs are basically commonly used graphs we can see in our day-to-day life, in newspapers or in news, and
Madam, I think there is some network issue. That's why you can't display your video.
Ma'am, you are not audible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Shall we start for the session? इकडे कसं काय दिसते नाही, इथं तर काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही, इथं आहे चालू. पण इथं कसं काय दिसते, पण आता हे माझ्या साईडने तर बंद आहे ना. ओके मी तिथं दिसते, मी ते माझं समजायला.
yes. So actually one can see why graphical representation is useful. So instead of looking at population of every state, we can see that this is the picture, which is one kind of graphical representation of data. And different states are colored with a specific color is given depending on population of state. They are colored actually. So that is the more better instead of looking at numbers. This picture gives us that most populated states are Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra and Bihar, and the least populated states are colored in green. So like that, we can see the information in pictorial way. And one more thing you can see here, I have given one example that this is the one report in which different states are given and a distribution of accidental deaths year wide. So again, looking at these numbers, nobody will be interested in going through this data. But if you see, look at this picture, the same information, if it is presented properly through graphs, then one can look at the data, how it is appearing in the pie chart. Major reason of accidental death, that we can see that it is a road accident, it's contributing 34%. So this is just background. So actually, why we need statistical graphs and statistical presentation of data? So we can see that statistics can be described as a science of classifying and organizing data in order to draw specific conclusion. Actually, everyone is interested in analyzing the data, but before analysis, one step is actually to properly present data. So we can see statistic is concerned with scientific method. Using scientific method, we want to collect data, we want to organize data, we want to summarize data, and presenting data. This is one of the important steps before going to analyze the data. The data presentation may be in appropriate form so that the reader can understand it. So before going for graphical presentation of data, we must know some statistical terms. So first term is variable, and in statistic we used to refer variable, which kind of variable it is. For example, the characteristic that is observed or manipulated, that is known as variable. For example, when we are in class, so we can measure height or weight of the student. We can record amount of rainfall in a day. We can record blood group of the student. So this is a kind of variable, and when we'll actually refer particular individual, particular student, and we'll record height and weight, then we'll get the data. So measurement or observations of variable, that is known as data. So we can see that we came across variety of data or variables. For example, yield of particular crop, share prices. In science branches, we can see number of insects. They are performing experiments on insects. Then in clinical trial, one may be interested time to get relief from headache after giving dose of medicine. Life of an electric equipment. So many a times we see that we have electrical gadgets, and after some period they get spoiled. So we can record the lifetime of electric gadget. Then we are usually working on computer. So suppose we have written one program. So how much time it takes to be reach at answer, that can be your variable. So many variables are there, but now we must know to what type of data what is to be done. So when we collect data, there are variety of sources of data. So records, that means past records, surveys, then experiments. These are the main ways, main sources of data. And in surveys also you have two major types of surveys: comprehensive surveys and sample surveys. For example, when we have census, after every 10 years we are having census. So that is actually a kind of comprehensive survey. But when the particular survey is done on limited people, so that is known as sample survey. Okay. Now, once we have decided something, so exactly we have some objective, but we cannot directly go to objective. So we have to go through some phases. So what are those phases? So first step will be collection of data. Second will be classification, tabulation, graphical presentation of data, and then we'll go for analysis and interpretation of data. So before analyzing, one must know that what kind of analysis or what kind of graph is to be used for that. So we must know types of variables. So actually there are broad way, there are two types of variables, quantitative variable and qualitative variable. Qualitative variables are also known as categorical variables. So we can see now further the quantitative variables are classified in two types, discrete and continuous variable. So major are these two types of variables are there, and we have to further classify, or we have to further take appropriate decision for our data. So let us see what exactly we are going to have. So here we have variables which are categorical or qualitative variable and quantitative variable. And in categorical variable, we will be having different types, and in quantitative variable will be having different types. So why I'm talking about this, because when we are presenting data for quantitative variable, different tools are used for analysis, and for categorical variable, different tools are used for analysis. So look at now what kind of differences are there. So you just see when we have quantitative variables, so they are classified in discrete and continuous. Now what is discrete? When we have the data on numbers, for example, number of children in a family, number of students passing in a particular exam, number of crimes, number of bicycles sold in a day. So all these are count data. These are counts actually. So that is known as discrete data. While when we are having the particular measurement of variable like height of plant, age of the individual, then how much time is required to run 500 meters, size of bicycle frame. So all these are measured at some decimal places. So that is known as continuous variable, continuous data. The associated data will be continuous data. Okay. Now quantitative data and qualitative data, we have seen examples. Discrete and continuous, we must look at that. Just see that quantitative, once again I'll repeat that quantitative variable which can be measured numerically, which is known as quantitative variable. So actually quantitative variable requires some scale, so some unit for recording. For example, temperature in degrees Celsius, length in meters, height in centimeters. So these are actually quantitative variables. So these qualitative variable and quantitative variable, they are to be treated in different way. Now look at discrete variable. So what is discrete variable actually? So when you are looking at score of the student in exam, number of accidents, number of misprints. So when you are having counts, then that is discrete variable. And for example, weight of animal, temperature at particular time, amount of rainfall, all these are continuous variables. Now in categorical variable, there are two types actually. In categorical variable, we are having again different types. So nominal and ordinal. So look at this. What is nominal? When variable having categories without any natural ordering. For example, let me gender. Gender is one variable. So when I'll be having one particular type of one particular individual, then gender can be male, it can be female, and it can be other or transgender. So we can see that male, female, and transgender, these are three genders, but there is no specific ordering between these. So that variable is known as nominal variable. So for example, hair color. So hair color, blonde, brown, red. So these are the variables which are not having any natural ordering. So that is known as a categorical nominal variable. While ordinal variable, look at this that when we are having specific ordering, look at this that we have economic status. This is the variable. Okay. Now there are three economic status: low, medium, and high. So we can see that low is low income group people would be there, and medium and high. So this is natural ordering is there in these particular variables. So such variables are known as uh, ordinal variables. Okay. So we must know these things. Actually, I'm going to start from basic graphs to advanced graphs. So we we, we must know, but what kind of data we are having or what kind of variable we are having. Okay. Then interval type of variables. You might be having a specific syllabus. So there this particular phase they are using. So interval variables are those variables which do not have any numerical distances. Blood pressure level, length of prison term, annual income, all these are interval variable. But most of the time you come across continuous and nominal ordinal variables. So I'll not go in deep for that. But you just see that we have four types of variables and what kind of operation you have to do or what kind of descriptive statistics you have to uh, work on that particular data that should be known to everyone. Even though non-statisticians are there, they are researcher. So the researcher must know that what kind of data they are having and what kind of operation they want to do on the data and which type of descriptive statistics they should use. Let us come to our main topic, what is graphical and diagrammatic representation of data. But before going to that, let me ask participants the question that how many of you have understood how many types of variables we have seen? Can anybody answer me? How many types of variables we have seen? Participants? Yes?
Students.
Are you there?
Students, give response to madam.
Yes, ma'am.
What we have seen? Which types of variables? I have given few examples. So what you have understood? Okay, anyway, I have talked about types of variable. There are, yes, anybody want to talk? Can they talk actually? Can they unmute themselves?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Yes, but they are not participating in discussion. So, okay, I'll give you another chance. We'll have some discussion and once again I'll ask, so please pay your attention because this is for you and you are researcher and your research should be more and more better for that organized. Okay, so let us come back to our
चेंज करायचंय ते सिलेबस मध्ये. ते मला वाटतं तिथं फर्स्ट इयर टाकलं असेल. बरोबर आहे का? ते ह्या वर्षी फर्स्ट इयरला येणार आहे. तुम्ही ते पेज कॉपी करून
मॅडम म्यूट करा म्यूट.
data representation. So what way we can represent data? So we can tabulate data. We can have diagrammatic presentation of data and we can have graphical presentation of data. Okay, so tabulation is a multi-way, two-way table, multi-way table, grouped, ungrouped tables. And in diagrammatic presentation, bar diagram, pie diagram. So in bar diagram itself, there are variety of ways, and in graphical presentation, there are a variety of tools are there. And we are going to learn all about the way of presenting the data. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about. Just see that we are having different types of graphs which you are really using, already you are using line graph, you are using bar chart, you are using pie chart. There are advanced statistical graphs that I'm going to talk about, but sometimes the wrong way the graph is chosen, and that we want to avoid. That's why you must have to look at that which is the best suitable graph for your data, or which is the best suitable way to represent your data. So line graph. So it is the graph which actually shows the different types of trends in your data. So look at this. Look at this. Can any one participant read this? What is shown here? Kalpana madam. Kalpana madam, can you read this? You can see the participants' names. So I'm just asking Kalpana madam.
Yes, ma'am.
What is presented here? Let us have the session interactive. Kalpana madam. So this is a
Yes.
Other students can also
Yes,
talk.
madam. Myself, Sagar Kulkarni is there. Madam, in this diagram, electricity consumption in billion is shown here, and the graph is continuously grown up year by year in our India. Electricity consumption has very recent issue.
good. Yes. So actually, what is the point? You look at this, that on the x-axis year is there, and here we are showing the consumption in billion kilowatt. So when you are drawing the graph, if you are using the graph, then what is important is title is important. What is the scale of the graph? Y-axis name, you must put it in proper way. What is the unit of variable which you are representing, and clearly what the x-axis labels, those should be clear. So you can see that the line graph is actually specific purpose is there, that when you are connecting the point, it shows that there is a amount of increase, there is amount of decrease, or what is the gain, what is the loss. Those things we can see. And when you are having these differences, we can calculate how much percent increase, percent decrease is there, and accordingly we can plan for the future. So that is the purpose for line graph. And when it is to be done, we can see that when your x-axis is actually representing the time constraint, so it is actually year. Okay, look at that it is year. So this is simple line graph. Now let us look at this is one more. This is projected world population. So starting from 1950 up to 2050. So obviously we are in 2022. So what has been done? We can see that after 2020, some points are there. So what is this actually? So this is actually projected. These are projected things. So why we need such line graph? So that we can get idea about future. So we can see that world population starting from 1950, it is in billions actually. So it is going on increasing, and in next 30 years, next 20 years, what will be the population? What will be the demand for water? What will be demand for electricity? What would be demand for food? So that is to be studied, and that's why we must know that what is going to happen in future about the population. So those things can be predicted, forecasted using using appropriate statistical tool. But the first step is to present it graphically. So now look at this one. This one is actually the real data we are having. Can anybody again read it? What is the exact variable that is being studied here, and what is the exact label? Can any participant read it? Okay, so let me explain it. So this is actually monthly average temperature during 1901 to 1910. So we can see that this is the real data that is available on the website of Meteorological Department, Pune. So actually for every day the temperature is recorded, but this is monthly average temperature. So for whole month there is one representative value. For example, this is actually January value, January 1901. This is for February 1900. So like that, this is average temperature that is shown, and we can see that how systematically every year the same pattern is shown by this particular variable. But you can see that this is the monthly average temperature. We can see that lot of increase in temperature is there in this 40 years that we can see. So plenty of observations can be done through such graphs when we are having line graphs. Specifically how much increase is there, how much decrease is there, that is also important. So this one is average temperature in degrees Celsius for from year 1992 to 2002. So 10 years data it is, but it is monthly data. Now we can see that not only single variable, but we can have multiple line graph. Now what is multiple line graphs? You can see that this during COVID we used to look at these graphs. So multiple line graph covers the things simultaneously. We can see that this color graph represented by Maharashtra. This color graph is showing the trends in daily confirmed cases in Indian states. So Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. So all these states, their trends in confirmed COVID cases has been shown simultaneously, and this is from specific time period. So we are actually using line graph when we want to show change in particular variable across time variable. So this is time constraint. Okay, but many times sometimes bar graph is used, so that is not the correct way. Look at this, that this is variation in moisture content. So we can see that this particularly black color line, that is the storage condition of that particular go down, we can say, or cooling station. It will be it was 10 to 22 degrees Celsius. For this red color it was 8 to 10 degrees Celsius, and this color is showing ambient temperature. So how much moisture is there across the particular year, and various storage conditions it is shown. This is one more example of multiple line graph in which we are plotting the blood pressure of mice. So systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressure both on the same line. It is plotted, and we can see that what kind of trends are there in the blood pressure of the mice. Okay, let us go for the another graphical tool. Bar graph. Now look at the difference between bar graph and line graph. So that's why the concept of types of variable, it must be clear to you. So we can see that this is bar graph, but when it is when bars are to be drawn, we can see that on x-axis this is the categorical variable. We can see what is being plotted here. The bar charts are used to depict categorical information. Now, have you understood what is the categorical variable? The variable which will be having categories, just like we can see, this is suppose gender. Then gender has categories male and female. Marital status, married, unmarried, divorced, widowed. This is the marital status. Pain severity. So all these are having categories. It is not measured with some scale or some unit, but they have categories. So we can see that this is the bar graph is to be drawn when we want to depict the categorical variable information. Okay, now let us look at this. Now how to read this graph? So we can see that the 50%, what is the title of the graph? can see. Let me show you. This is showing simultaneously the percent of male and female, those are facing problem support. So the persons which are single, male and female, which are single. So this is something, suppose 25% male, they are facing problems, and what we can say, this much is 32%, suppose female, they are having so and so problems. So we have to read this graph accordingly. So this is your having multiple bar graph. You can see that simultaneously two variables we are considering here, male and female. For both male and female, we have bars here. Okay. Now look at this sex ratio of India in comparison with neighboring countries. So our neighboring countries are considered, all neighboring countries are there, but at the same time, in India, the lowest sex ratio is observed in Madhya Pradesh. So that is also considered here, 930, and these are all neighboring countries. We can see that these are categories. This is the country and this is the country name. So this is categorical in nature. It cannot be measured with some scale, and that's why now here no line graph is to be drawn. But what we have to do, actually, we have to draw bar graph. So look at this bar graph for world. What is the sex ratio? And for neighboring countries, for India, for Madhya Pradesh, and for China, all these sex ratios are plotted. So we can see now the difference between line graph and bar graph, when to draw line graph and when to draw bar graph. So when your x-axis is covering categorical variables, then your bar graph is useful. And can anybody define what is sex ratio? I'm just talking about sex ratio, but what is it exactly? Do you know? Participants, do you know it? Kavde, Kamble, Gujar, Prachi, all these are participants. They are not interacting. Why? Are you there? Participants
Yes,
are
ma'am.
there? Okay. Child sex ratio. So you can see now again, this is an example of multiple bar graphs. So when we want to compare the things, for example, here I want to compare the child sex ratio. What was it in 2001 and whether there is any improvement in 2011. So I have the 2 years to compare for sex ratio, and at the same time I'm having here different states also. So this is actually the child sex ratio, and now we can see that for overall in India it is improved, while in Chhattisgarh you can see that 2001 it was better, but in 2011 it has decreased, and same thing is observed about different years.
ह्या फाईल मध्ये बघा की डिझास्टर कुठल्या सेमिस्टरला होती.
So sometimes you can connect the graph to show the trends that over the years. Look at this, that here when we have the particular bar graph and when we have line graph. So when you have different states, different countries on the x-axis, then you have the bar graph. While we can see that here I am having year. When on the x-axis I am having year, and then I am connecting it. So this particular trend, you can see that overall India has the sex ratio which is actually decreasing, but Madhya Pradesh is the state which is having really declining, fast declining trend, and this is shown through this graph. So if you, some of you are studying in social sciences, then such things, social attributes are to be studied, and such things must be reported properly, that what are the trends in this. Now there is the bar graph we have seen. You can see, let us go back. First of all, we have seen simple bar graph. Then we have seen multiple bar graph. Multiple bar graph, we can have different situation. But now I have one more type of graph that is known as stacked bar graph. So we can see that if I want to show that in quarter number 1, this is actually the graph in which quarter 1 number 1, how many defects, how many punctures. For example, we can see, first of all, look at the data, that what are the how many repairs are there and what were the causes of those repairs. So in quarter 1, we can see that in quarter 1, 73 punctures were there, 25 damaged linears were there, damaged line walls, side walls were there. So this is the data for quarter 1, and overall for quarter 1, 352 repairs were there, but out of them 243 were wall leakage. We can see 180 were wall core leakage. So this one you can show at the same time. There is no need to have again different graphs. This is known as stacked or subdivided bar graph. This is known as stacked or subdivided bar graph. So actually there are advanced softwares which help you to draw these graphs. So don't hesitate that you have to draw it at your own. But softwares are there and they will help you to draw such graphs. Now one more example we can see here. Look at this situation. Now this one is the data. This one is the data that is showing expenditure on beauty products. Actually, this is expenditure on beauty products. So there are 1,118 married women were there, which are those were expending 500 to 1,000 rupees every month on the beauty products, and this is 881 unmarried women or girls were there who were spending this much amount. So this is how you are summarizing the data in table form, but how you represent it graphically so that we can see through graph, which graph now we are going to have. Look at the way how it is shown. Let me let me show it to you.
Yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible.
Yes, screen is
Yes,
visible.
but actually I cannot see the next slide. That's why I'm trying. I want to go further.
Okay.
So I think I want to go further, but I'm not able to do that. Let me check what has happened. Just wait. Yeah. ये जिससे अपनी तुम पूरे जाती है.
Excuse me, ma'am. If you are using a PowerPoint presentation and it is in slideshow mode, press escape key once, then you'll get a option to move on the next slide.
Let me once again reshare it.
तुम्ही जी प्रिंट दिली आहे ना मॅडम, त्याच्यामध्ये सगळे टोटल पेजेस येतात हे. ते प्रिंट कॅन्सल करावं लागेल पहिल्यांदा आणि नंतर एका पेज साठी प्रिंट करावं लागेल. आणि ते चांगले पेजेस असतील तर बाजूला काढा, ते ब्लँक पेजेस असतील सगळं.
Kavle ma'am, your voice is audible to all participants.
कुठे हे ना. Just minute, I'll try.
Okay, no problem.
इथून होते का? हे होते.
Yes, ma'am. Screen sharing is visible now.
Yes, I'm just trying, but
Madam, is there any technical issue?
actually I'm trying, but I think my laptop is hanged. I'm not able to share my PPT.
Okay.
Let me try again,
Okay, ma'am. No problem, ma'am.
please.
We will wait, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Yet you are facing the same problem.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam, I'm trying actually. Just wait 2 minutes.
Okay, ma'am. No issue.
Here is kind request to all participants to stay online as a resource person is
Hello?
facing some technical
Ma'am,
issues.
my laptop
They will
is
be
hanged,
joining
so I
very
just
soon.
tried to move on the other laptop. So it will take maybe 5 minutes. Will you wait, please?
Yeah, no
Really
issue.
sorry.
No issue, ma'am. No issue.
Hello?
No issue.
Hello?
Okay, ma'am. No issue, madam. We
Hello?
will wait, madam. Madam, we will wait. No problem, madam. We will wait for some time.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. You are audible, madam.
Hello?
Madam, you are audible.
Yeah, but my laptop is just hanged and I'm not able to do anything. So please wait, I'll be moving to other laptop. Is it okay?
Okay, okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We will wait for some time, madam.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Madam, are you there in meeting? Kirti, madam? Sir,
Let me try. Otherwise, I'll cover the things in next lecture. But I'm just trying. Sorry, really, but it is unexpected. Usually, I have my lectures on my laptop, but right now it is really totally hanged. I'm
okay,
just
no
trying.
issue, madam. Madam, can we continue by the theoretical explanation? If there is the problem with laptop and network,
Yes.
I think we will continue by giving just theoretical explanation.
Yes, but okay. So I'll just log in and yes, I can do that. Okay. So I won't be able to have discuss PPT then.
Okay, madam. Okay.
PPT other laptop. So I'll try up to that point, and then if I can take PPT here, so we'll do that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Ma'am, I think we will start with the explanation. Madam. Kirti, madam, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Ma'am, I think we'll start for the theoretical explanation, and then we will put the session for open discussion. Ma'am, whether the issue is solved? Yes.
बहुतेक येत मॅडम.
हा येस सर.
जॉईन व्हायला लागल्यात बहुतेक.
हो.
Yes, madam, I'm here, but please let me share something so that I can do.
Ma'am, if there is any network issue, then we will continue with theoretical explanation.
Yes, network issue is also there.
Okay. And
Yes, I share whiteboard. So can I use whiteboard, madam?
yes, ma'am, yes.
I'm getting again error message for whiteboard also.
Okay, ma'am, then we will continue with explanation, oral explanation.
Okay, I'm on the whiteboard. So actually I was talking about pie
Yes, ma'am.
chart. I wanted to talk on pie chart and then some advanced graphs also there. And TLC commonly used charts. Let me explain about line graph. When we have to use line graph, actually, when we want to show trends, either increasing or decreasing, or some component are there, increasing or decreasing. Trends we want, we are using line graphs. Pie chart. So here 50 participants are there. Okay, let's discuss one example when we have to use pie chart. Suppose 50 participants are there, so we know that we can record their blood group. Suppose A, B, AB, and O. So let us suppose we will have the frequencies that 15 people have a group, 10 or 5 people are having B group. AB group is very rare. So suppose two groups, two are here or 5 are here. So now this is 25 and 25 people, they are having O blood group. Okay. So if you want to show what is the percent of participants or percent of, we can say, patients, because see most of we want to know what will be the demand for blood in a particular city. So we want to know what is distribution of the blood groups.
Okay, ma'am. Screen is visible. Continue, madam. फुले सर, मला वाटतं मॅडमला नेटवर्क इश्यू आहे आणि ते काही टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लेम्स मुळे ते व्हाईट बोर्ड पण शेअर करू शकत नाहीत आणि जॉईन पण होत नाहीयेत. मला वाटतं मॅडम आहेत का मीटिंग मध्ये? फुले सर. केलो का? त्यांचं एकदा चेक करावं लागेल, पण त्यांचा आताच करू नका वाटतं. Madam, are you there in meeting? Madam, are you there in meeting?
So, hello. Hello, madam.
Yes, yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
So, network problem again. Please let me.
Madam, no issue. I think we will continue because I think on 25th of April, again you have a lecture in this program.
So actually, in my next section, I think I'll continue. I will cover both the topics. Really sorry because this is for the first time happening with me. But extremely sorry because participants might have some disappointment regarding me. But yeah, I was trying, but really sorry.
No, no, ma'am. It is not the matter of sorry. It is sometimes technical issues. We can't handle it.
Yeah.
And now it is not in our hands to overcome these technical issues. No, no worry, madam. Madam, I think we will continue on 25th of April
Yeah.
in that session.
सोमवारी त्यांचा आहे, कंटिन्यू करून टाकू सोमवारी.
सोमवारी आहे त्यांचं, मग आपण तिथं मॅडम करतील सर कंटिन्यू.
त्यांना वेळ जास्त देतो आपण.
ओके, मग मॅडम
cover both the topics on Monday.
ओके ओके मॅडम, तुम्ही तेव्हा कव्हर करा ह्याला पण थोडस.
Yes, yes, yes. Sure, sure.
मॅडम, सो मग आज आपण थांबूयात का?
हो, चालेल चालेल. मी मंडेला थोडं स्टँड बाय पण ठेवते आणि नेटवर्क इश्यूजचं पण केअर घेते. ओके, सॉरी participants, really sorry, but I'm going to share my PPT with all the participants, even though I have not covered it, but Monday we'll see, and I'll be sharing my notes also.
ओके ओके, थँक्यू.
Yeah, yeah.
फुले सर, कन्क्लूड करायचं का? ओके, सो I am very much thankful Dr. Kirti Kamalja madam. So she was the resource person for the today's program. Actually, madam, whatever the time you have received, you have explained in a very good and simple manner the topic of geographical presentation of data. Actually, you have presented that topic in very interesting and informative way by showing various types of graphs and diagrams. Madam presented various diagrams and graphs such as bar diagram, pie charts, line charts, etc. And she has taken various different interesting examples while presenting the data. Definitely, madam, this session is very useful for the research students as they can present the numerical and statistical information in diagrams and charts in their research report. So it will make their dissertation and thesis more informative, more meaningful and more attractive. So at last, once again, I am very much thankful to Dr. Kirti Kamalja madam. No, ma'am, you don't mention sorry. It is not the matter of sorry. Sometimes there are some technical issues and we cannot control that. These are uncontrollable issues. So don't mention sorry again and again. It is not looking good for us. So ma'am, we will meet on Monday.
Yes, we'll meet on Monday, right? Okay.
Okay, madam.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks to all the participants. Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay.
विश्वनाथ जी.
Yes, sir.
Okay, close करून टाका.
Yes, sir. Fine, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.